I'm gonna love you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coffee with Brian. Got my coffee here. I get a little sip of. Today, I'm going to do kind of a comparison video, I guess. Let's see here. Actually, I need to put a little more in there, but I'm going to try out different blending techniques with my faber castel oil core pencils. I'm going to be using a blue and a red, doing one on one side, one on the other, and then blend in the middle for a purple. And the four things I'm going to be using for this, and I've got it labeled here, excuse my writing, I'm a horrible penmanship. I've got paper blender, just plain old paper blender for up here. I've got a Prismacolor colorless blender, which is PC, I don't know if you can see it or not, where is it? PC 1077. Yeah, 1077. That's going to be right here in this box. I have the Prismacolor colorless marker blender right here, as you can see, and that's going to be this box here. And then at this bottom box, we're going to try our mineral spirits, which I need to put a little bit more in this here. It absorbed all of it. Actually, I'm going to wait till it's time to use those, because this paper thing seems to be absorbing it. So anyway, and I'll be using a brush to try to blend that. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's get our blue on here. We're just going to put up to this line. Not going real heavy. Okay, let's do down here. I'm just going to go ahead and do all four boxes while we're going. Not real heavy. Okay. Now we're going to do our red, and I'm going to overlap a little bit on the red. So let's get this going here. And we're going to overlap on the blue a little bit here. Okay, down here. Here. And right here. All right. So we've got those. I'm going to go ahead and stick these back in my tray, or they'll end up like the rest of my art room, all over the place. And we don't want that. So, now, we're going to use paper blender first. As you can see, I don't know if you can see real good. This is, we got each of the boxes slightly overlapped. So now we're going to use paper blender here. And we're going to blend here. Right on this line. I'm pushing down pretty hard on this. Alright, as you can see, this is the result we've got here. I don't know if you can see real good or not. Right in here is the result with the paper blender. Okay, let's move on to the Prismacolor can't speak, sorry. Colorless blender. Okay, so we've got a little different effect going on with the colorless here, and this one here compared to this one. Okay, and now we're going to use Prismacolor colorless marker blender. Now this is going to have a much more dramatic effect. Now, as you can see, it's a lot bolder of a blend than these two, but as you can also see, it's also not as smooth. So you've got these gaps up in here, where it was a lot more smoother with the just regular colorless blender, and even with the paper blender. So even though this makes a bolder color, and you don't have necessarily that waxy buildup as you do with this one here, because this is a wax core. Prismacolor is a wax core, whereas polychromos are oil core. So you are going to get a little bit of a wax buildup on this one using the colorless, whereas this one you will not, and your paper blender you're not going to. But this does, like I said, gives a very bold color on the blend, but as you can see, there's a lot of gaps where you don't have it. These are more smooth up here. Now let's try the mineral spirits. I'm going to have to put a little bit in this cap. You don't want to use a whole lot. Okay. And we're just going to put just a touch on there. Not much. We'll get that excess off there because we're not going to use a whole lot of it. And that's going to be right here. Let's see how this works here. Okay, we're getting a very bold effect, just like we got with the marker blender. Except this seems to be a lot smoother. Yeah, this is a lot smoother, I'm going to tell you. I think I might have got just a touch too much mineral spirits on here. That's why I'm kind of trying to expand it out a little bit. But I am getting a lot smoother effect, as you can see here. Well, you can't really see, you got a shadow. I'm sorry about that. See, it's a little bit smoother than this one. See how you got gaps there? Don't really have them so much there. It's a lot smoother. So, this is, let me get this covered back up here. And like I said, I think I put, see, you can get where you see, maybe just a bit too much. Let me turn them up here. Out of the 4 results, the top 2 and the bottom one are pretty smooth. This colorless marker blender is bold, but it has a lot of gaps in it. Now, if you work with it more, I believe you might could do away with some of that, but I like the result of the paper blender, this colorless blender, and the mineral spirits. This mineral spirit gives a very smooth, bold blend, it seems to. Softens up a little bit. The Prismacolor colorless blender here, again, also very smooth. Now I will tell you, that's a wax core pencil, so the more blending you do, if I wanted to do layers upon that and then use the blender and then layers upon that, eventually I am going to get a wax buildup. And I know this from doing portraits and pet drawings with my Prismacolor pencils. I get like a waxy buildup, like a caking effect with it. And, you know, right here it's very smooth. This is one layer. But if I went and did another layer on top, then used my colorless blender to blend, then did another layer on top, eventually, even though I'm using the polychromos, that colorless blender is going to give me, I believe, a waxy buildup. So, you know, for single layer blending, I think it would do an amazing job, as would the paper blender. But I think I might have to work with it more, but I think my mineral spirits is going to give me the best result. It really softens up the edge in here. And it's going to take some experimenting though, but I like the effect of it. Now this colorless marker blender, this here, you know, and I may not be doing it properly, but I just don't like, you see how there's a lot of gaps in here? It doesn't really do a smooth blend in my opinion. The other 3 are smooth blends. Like I said, you know, the more layers you do with this one, which is Prismacolor colorless blender here, you're gonna, I believe you're gonna get some waxy buildup. I don't know with it being Faber-Castell, those being oil core, it may not be as bad as if you're using a Prismacolor wax core pencil and then using the Prismacolor colorless wax core blender. It may not be as bad with that caking effect. The paper blender, I like the effect of it as well. So I think, from my experience and from this little test result, I'm going to have to say that probably the best 2 effects would be a straight paper blender or mineral spirits. Now, like I said, if you're doing just single layer, possibly even 2 layers of color with blending, you would probably be all right with this Prismacolor colorless blender as well. Now, I know a lot of artists will use a fixidant. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. It's a spray that they will put over each layer, and then when it dries, they'll add another layer, fixidant, then another layer, fixidant, and then another layer, and so on and so forth. I don't really use fixidants, so I believe I'm probably, since I like the smoothness and the boldness of it, I'm probably going to try to get familiarized with this mineral spirits. I've mainly been using paper blenders and the Prismacolor colorless blender. These two up here. But I've watched a few videos and I really like the effect that the mineral spirits gives. And, you know, it dries fine. It's fine. I could probably go back and put layer upon layer upon layer over this, you know. So I'm just going to have to play around and get used to how much to use, you know, how much to put on this brush. And I may experiment with different brushes. I was trying to find more of a what's called a scumbing brush. This really isn't a scumbing brush. Scumbing brushes are used for blending. And I've got some. I just couldn't find one for this video. Well, I found one, but it's too big. I need a smaller scumbing brush. So I'm probably going to have to, if I can't find them, I'm probably going to have to buy one or two or three. Probably 10 in my case, because I know I have them, can't find them, so they're going to, whatever I buy is more than likely half of them going to get lost. So, like I said, well, now this might be a scumbing brush. I think this is a partial scum, because if you see, it does say blend. This is used for blending, so it's awful stiff, though. I think it's, I might try to pick up like a red sable, or a softer bristle, maybe. I think that might help. Anyway, kind of wanted to try this out, see what I like best, and I think these are going to be the two I'm going to stick with. I'm gonna get more familiarized with the mineral spirits, because I think I really like the look of that, and I think especially on portraits, facial tones and stuff where you really need that smooth look, I think this is going to give me the best bang for my buck. That or the paper blender. So I think those two I'm going to stick with. So anyway, let me go ahead and move this up where y'all can see me a little bit here. Good Lord. I need to get a better, well, that's crooked. Alright, there we go. So anyway, I think I am going to stick with the mineral spirits and this little paper blender here. It's going to take some getting used to with the mineral spirits. But I think it's going to give me a better outcome in the long run. I think well, I could have like brushed my hair or something, don't you think? I'm telling you, man, I'm a slob sometimes, folks. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. Like I said, I think I'm going to stick with the mineral spirits and the paper blending sticks that you can just sharpen. And here for a while, I think I'm going to do some drawings. You know, it's been a while. I think I need to do one. I might do one of our cats. I still got 2 to do, so yeah, I need to get them done. So I'm gonna get off here. I love y'all. Y'all be good to each other, and I'll see you again real soon. Thank you for watching, everyone. Remember, click on my goofy little mug down there to subscribe to my channel. Smash that like button to show me some love and support. And leave me comments down below in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the video, what you'd like to see in the future, or just how your day's been. Doesn't matter. Just leave me a comment. And as always, folks, I love y'all. Thank you for showing your support. And I'll see you again real soon, folks.